Happy New Year. I've been gone for a while, but you saw a little flash of me coming back a few weeks ago on SmackDown, and that was meant to happen because I didn't want you to forget about me. I didn't want you to forget, especially after Vince tried to get you to think that he was the one behind hacking his own show. But I made sure to put the kibosh on that. Now, let me explain something. Let me explain why I'm doing this. It isn't because that I want to hurt WWE, no matter what they have the announcers saying, no matter what Vince wants you to believe, no matter what Stephanie wants you to believe, or Hunter. I'm not here to hurt WWE. Because why? Well, if I was here to hurt the company, why would I be investing in something I wanted to hurt? Because don't forget, I am a stockholder in this company. I am a stockholder in this company. First and foremost, that means I'm going to do what it takes to protect my investment. And that is why I'm doing this. I am hacking. I have been sticking my nose in the business of Vince McMahon and the WWE because I am protecting my investment. Because 3 months ago, I took a look at the current WWE product and I realized that the interest in the WWE is at an all-time low. That the ratings keep going lower and lower and lower, and if you don't believe me, just take a look at SmackDown's weekly ratings. And the perfect proof of what I'm saying, look at the Royal Rumble. Look at the Royal Rumble and who won. And think to yourself, are you happy with that winner? Then think back to last year and think, who won last year? And are you happy with that winner? Forget the fact that the person you wanted ended up going to WrestleMania. Are you happy with the winner? And if not, then what the heck is WWE doing? What the heck are they doing destroying a pay-per-view that used to be one of their big four? I'm here to help you gain interest back in the WWE. Why? Because in the end, it helps me. Because I am financially invested in this company. I have taken an interest in this company, but not just that. Not just financially. I am invested in this company because I know that if this company is succeeding, wrestling as a whole is succeeding. Because they put more eyes on wrestling. And that is why, even though I work for someone else, I am still taking an interest in World Wrestling Entertainment because I know that if not for WWE, where would pro wrestling be? That's right, I work for somebody else. I work for TNA. I work for TNA, and I've been doing this for 3 months while employed by a different company. That's why I needed help, and that's why I got it. But now my contract is up. My contract is expiring and almost up. So before you know it, I will be on Monday Night Raw. Before you know it, I will be showing up on SmackDown. And I won't be a hacker anymore. I will be the savior of WWE. You heard Chris Jericho say, "Save us, Y2J." But now it is "Save us, TNA." Things are just about to get interesting. Don't tune me out yet. Just wait and see. I'll be back soon. Till then, surprise.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Let's Play WWE 2015. We are one night removed from the 2015 Royal Rumble, which was powered by ringwrap.com, as you saw in the highlight pack, as you will see at the highlight package at the top of the show. And you will also catch the highlights such as Dean Ambrose walking away with the Intercontinental title, Mickie James walking away with the Divas title, Rusev, with the help of Sheamus, leaving Philly with the United States Championship, and Cesaro and Tyson Kidd still holding on to the titles, as well as Brock Lesnar holding on to the world title with the help of Seth Rollins. But before we get to the main show and see what's going on tonight in New York City, in upstate New York, we have to get to the pre-show, and the first pre-show match has Bad News Barrett going up against CJ Parker, as Barrett wins, and then Goldust up against Heath Slater, and Slater comes up short against the Golden Veteran. But now the most interesting part of the pre-show, as Ric Flair walks down with Joe Hennig, and Flair issues an open challenge. He issues an open challenge to anyone, and Fandango accepts the challenge, which leads to Fandango going one-on-one against Joe Hennig, which sees Joe Hennig coming out on top, but we also find out that Fandango and Joe Hennig have great chemistry together as opponents. This episode of Raw kicks off with the big mouth Canadian upstart, as WWE would say, who shocked the world by beating John Cena at the Royal Rumble 24 hours ago. And Kevin Owens just comes out and toots his own horn about being victorious, about beating the odds, about proving everybody wrong one more time, and defeating John Cena 1, 2, 3. And he says it again and uses his fingers this time, right in the middle of the ring. And what made it even better was the gasp that I heard when I beat your hero, and the gasps of all the kids of all the C Nation that, oh no, the superhero has a crack in his armor. And that's all it takes for Cena to come out, and Cena starts ripping apart Owens about the fact that, yes, did Owens get his hand raised last night? He did. But did he get his hand raised? Did he beat Cena 1, 2, 3 honorably? Did he beat Cena like a man? No. because whatever you used, whatever that foreign object was, you took advantage of an opportunity when the ref's back was turned, and you seized your chance. So, Kevin, you want to say you beat me, fine. But if you want to be a man and not a coward like you're showing, how about you step into the ring against me one more time in 2 weeks at Fastlane? Then Owens goes on about how Cena used to be, this guy, how Cena used to be just like him, how Cena would take advantage of an opportunity when it presented itself, even if it meant cheating, and yet these people would cheer when Cena cheated, but they boo Owens. Owens goes on to say, I'm not here to end your career, Cena. I'm here to prove the double standard. I'm here to take you off your perch and make way for the new breed of WWE superstar. And that brings out, just once again, something Owens says brings somebody out to the ring. And that somebody is The Miz, because The Miz has something to say. And he goes on and on about how Owens is right, how Cena's been on his perch for too long, and how The Miz single-handedly could have knocked him off his perch, but was held back and brought down by the Machine. And it happens time and time again, because anybody who threatens Cena's perch, who threatens Cena's position in the company, must be taken down. And that's why they had me go against 2 other challengers at the Royal Rumble, and that's why they had my title taken away from me, because they knew, good guy or bad guy, I could be better than John Cena. I could take his position just like that, because I'm The Miz, and then Ambrose says, interrupted. Ambrose doesn't get to talk that long before Stephanie comes out and makes our main event, John Cena and Dean Ambrose teaming up against Kevin Owens and The Miz. But that's the main event. As for our first match, may be a match that some of you actually would want to see. Chris Jericho versus Chris Hero, and Chris Jericho is victorious once again, and much like a few weeks ago on SmackDown, Jericho grabs the mic and talks about how he wants a fresh face to step up. He wants it to be where WWE has a future. Because right now the future is dark. Right now there is no future for this company. Because there's gonna get to a point where John Cena can't do it anymore. There's gonna get to a point where I can't do it anymore. There's gonna be a point where they can't lean on The Rock to sell tickets. They have to make their own stars, and I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find that star, that fresh face, to bring WWE to the future. Because I'm the man for the job, being the best in the world at what I do. Look who's here! Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe makes his entrance to a big pop. Nobody expected Joe to show up, especially the night after the Royal Rumble, especially this close to WrestleMania. But if this, I'm telling you, if this is the start of the road to WrestleMania, this being the start of the road to WrestleMania, and if this is what you can expect for the rest of the road, you're not going to want to miss anything on the road to WrestleMania, because it's going to be one of the best builds to Mania in a while. I promise you that, because I'm going to invest the time to make it one of the best builds, if not the best build to Mania in a long time. But Samoa Joe comes out and he talks about how Jericho wants to find the future, a fresh face. Well, what if the future found you? What if the fresh-faced found you? And that's why, right after he said that, Joe says, well, I'm here. And then much like his debut, or Kurt Angle's debut in TNA, where Joe headbutts him. Or Angle headbutted him. Well, somebody got a headbutt. Joe headbutts Jericho. Jericho goes down. And the fight is on. The argument turns. Excuse me. We get physical in the ring, and they are joined by a number of officials, and other wrestlers have hit the ring to pull them apart. And, recognizable faces include Triple H, Al Snow, and Billy Gunn. Fact of the matter is, Jericho and Joe, chaos in the Blue Cross Arena here in New York. Chaos between the debuting Samoa Joe and the veteran Chris Jericho, which is exactly what's discussed between Michael and his cohorts right after the segment ends, and Jericho and Samoa Joe are pulled apart. What a way to debut for Joe. A pull-apart brawl with the 6-time world champ, 9-time Intercontinental Champion, and the self-proclaimed best in the world. And if you don't know who would say that, think about AJ Styles' debut, and think about who do you think would have said that on the announce team, basically burying Joe's past and putting over the WWE talent. But you don't know. If you know who it is, feel free to put it down in the comment section. If you don't know, then that means you're not watching WWE, which I'm flattered that you're watching mine instead of them. But either way, we're going to continue with the show as Rob Van Dam goes one-on-one with Ryback as RVD tries to get back on the winning track after dropping the the United States title back to Rusev last night at the Rumble, thanks to Sheamus. But it doesn't go far as Rob calls out Sheamus, and Sheamus comes out. Sheamus doesn't look happy, and we're about to find out why. So Sheamus comes out and apologizes to Rob Van Dam, apologizes to RVD for costing him the United States title last night, saying he doesn't know what came over him. He doesn't know what came over him. He just can't stand Rusev. He just can't stand Rusev. And he just wanted to help. He just wanted to help RVD. Rob says, whatever. But I don't understand it, because you've seen my matches. I didn't need help beating Rusev before. The 2 other times before, I sure as hell didn't need to help beating him now. Then Sheamus tells Rob, I know that, and that's why I went to the Authority. And this Friday night on SmackDown, you will be going one-on-one against Rusev in your rematch for the United States title, and I guarantee you will not see me throughout the entire match. I will not be there. I will not. You have it to yourself. You want your title back? Here's your chance. Good luck. I'm sorry. And then Rob does his whatever. Now we move to the next match with Sami Zayn going up against Kalisto. Sami defeats Kalisto in the match of the Independent Darlings. And a solid match at that, with two semi-unpopular guys. But either way, a solid win for Sami. Now we move back out to the parking lot, as you can assume Vince is here. As a limo pulls up and Vince gets out. Vince does a little bit of walking. Renee Young comes into the shot. Vince takes one look at Renee Young and says, "Get the hell out of my face. I don't want to talk. If you don't get out of my face, I will fire you." You can imagine how pissed Vince... Okay. You can imagine how pissed Vince is after... You can imagine how pissed Vince is after how things went last night with the hacker not showing up and ignoring Vince's challenge, then facing off with Brad Maddox, only to have the hacker show up at the beginning of Raw tonight. Only to have him show up at the beginning of Raw tonight. To say Vince is pissed off is probably an understatement. But now we move forward to the next match, as the Usos go one-on-one against are teaming up against the Matadors. But for the Usos to think that whatever tension between them and the Ascension is over with, they were wrong, because the Usos win via disqualification after Connor and Victor run in and attack Jimmy and Jay. Byron enters the ring to interview the Ascension's manager, David Otunga, and Byron asks them one question, or actually David says, "Byron, you only get one question, so what do you want to ask?" Why? Because for the longest time, these two have not been given their respect that they deserve. The respect that they earned down in NXT, being the longest reigning NXT Tag Team Champions. They earned respect, and they haven't been given any of it. They've been treated as jokes. They've been treated as afterthoughts. Well, now it's time for them to take what is theirs, and to take the respect they deserve. Now get out of our face before you end up like the Usos. The announcers talk up the main event, and now we shift backstage with Alex Riley and The Miz, who enter Kevin Owens' locker room and talk about the main event and if, I should say, they'll be able to coexist. Before they can actually start talking, Kevin tells Alex to leave the room. And we don't really catch much because because The Miz also forces the cameraman out of the room too. So we gotta wonder what Owens and Miz have planned and why Alex had to leave the room. Well, now we move to a Divas match, as I will tell you this much: there are other Divas in the division than Natalya, AJ, Paige, and Mickey, and that's why this match happened. the New Day basically talk about how they squashed a nation, and it started their quest to stop the chance to end the comments and to kill the desire for those fans that so badly want a trip back in time to 1999. If you want to go, Kofi says, if you want to go back to 1999, then log on to the WWE Network and you can go back to 1999 all you want for only $9.99 a month. Or for new subscribers, free for the first month. But that's the only way you'll get back to 1999, because this isn't 1999, it is a new day. They are interrupted by Christian, and Christian says, didn't anybody tell you to respect history? Those who ignore history are doomed to repeat it. You two, you three, you remind me of a state. You want to talk about the Attitude Era. You remind me of Kaientai. You remind me of a stable called Kaientai, because you're standing here and you're talking, and though they might not have been able to be understood, nobody cares what you have to say. Just like nobody cared what they had to say. But either way, Christian says something to the effect of, no. Back where I'm from, we don't handle it with words. We handle it in the ring. So which one of you three? Then Christian says, something witty that Christian would say that I can't come up with on the spot right now. Which one of you three want to step into the ring against Captain Charisma to show that I still got it, even though it might be a new day? So Christian goes up against Xavier Woods. And following that match, out comes the Authority and Mr. McMahon. And it's basically the same promo as Vince cut last night, but only Hunter and Steph are with him this time. And last night he didn't get interrupted by MVP. He got interrupted by Brad Maddox. But tonight he gets interrupted by MVP, who makes sure Vince knows MVP is from the same place as the hacker. And Vince wants MVP to tell him who the hacker is, but MVP says he doesn't know. And then Stephanie says, what good are you then? You interrupted us for nothing then. So now here's your punishment. And Vince books him in a match against the Wyatt family. And of course, MVP comes up short against Luke and Eric Rowan in a handicap match. And then following the match, Mr. McMahon taunts MVP and says, maybe next time you'll remember that what you could do down there, you can't do up here, and that includes you don't cross a McMahon. Damn it. And now we move to the next match as Paige goes up against Summer Rae, which basically was designed to have this match happen, or set up this match for this Thursday night on SmackDown, That's right. I apologize. This Friday night on SmackDown, SmackDown will move to Thursdays starting in week 2 of February, or in the second week of February. But this week on SmackDown, nonetheless, Paige will be going up against Mickie James for her newly won WWE Divas title. But this isn't without tension. I actually apologize. I shouldn't have put AJ in the segment, but I did, because all I wanted to really do is put Natalya in the segment and just make sure Paige knows Natalya gets her rematch is entitled to a rematch clause, and she is willing to wait to see who wins the title on SmackDown, or who walks out with the title on SmackDown, to then announce when she will set up her rematch clause or put out for her rematch clause against Mickie and the WWE Divas title. Basically, Natalya's just making sure they don't forget that she's here. Speaking of the Royal Rumble, and speaking of people who debuted last night like MVP, another person who debuted as a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble is Bobby Lashley. And Bobby Lashley comes in like a house of fire, showing his new changed moveset and what he's added to his acumen since last being in the WWE, as he, instead of ending his match with a spear, he makes Alex Reynolds submit to the Dragon Sleeper pretty quickly, showing how dominant he can be with his new found skills. You thought Bobby was dominant before, well, now he can make you tap out and break you in half. He's even more dominant now. This segment is basically putting over what we missed last time, earlier in the show. The announcers, a graphic flashes up. Roman Reigns will be on SmackDown to talk about his Royal Rumble win last night and what he expects going towards WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar. This is just the same segment as Kevin Owens and The Miz's segment, but Dean Ambrose and Cena. And the main event, which sees Ambrose defeat Kevin Owens with Dirty Deeds, and Ambrose and Cena win the match against their two rivals. 24 hours after Ambrose won the Intercontinental title, he gets another big win over Kevin Owens. Another rough week for Raw, as we increased our popularity in 19 regions and lost popularity in 16. So I guess that means we gained popularity in 3. Once again, if I'm correct, let me know I'm correct in the comment section. If you don't know, then don't bother commenting about that situation. But if you want to comment about what your favorite part of the show was, least favorite part of the show was, what you think I could have done better, or what you would have done different if you were in charge, feel free to leave that in the comment section below. Or if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. Subscribe to the channel for more content just like this that you can only find right here at Wrestling Express. Till next time. Later.